Here's where I turned this piece of wood into this cutting board. I've been watching a lot of woodworking videos recently. It's been getting me into it, so we're gonna do this. As you can see, it's already been debarked and been pre-lined, so I'm ready to cut it. So it's time to get started. So what we're dealing with here is a piece of cherry wood. I got this pre-cut on eBay for about 35 bucks, which is a pretty great steal. It came with bark and stuff, so I had to get that taken off. But I'm gonna be using this. I didn't say what I was doing. I'm gonna turn it into a river cutting board. I wanted to eventually do a resin table. If you think I should be doing that at some point, get this video to 3 likes and we're gonna hop on that. So right now I made a line to cut this. I made 2. The first one was bad because it was not centered, but now what we're gonna do is cut this real. I don't have my table saw set up, so I'm using a circular saw, but we'll see how that goes. All right, we got it done. It's nice and cut. The edge isn't perfectly straight, but it doesn't matter because at the end, we're gonna square it up anyway. It created a lot of smoke, so I had to clear out for it later. But now, as you can see, it's over in the vise. So I'm going to sand down this part here to get it perfectly sanded and smooth. And then the bottom as well, because it's kind of dirty down there. The edge, because like I said, it was a hard cut, it was cross cut. So we're gonna sand it, and we're gonna get to work. Right, gotta sand it down. And then we're going too crazy because I already know that I'm gonna square it up at the end. Now it's time to just put it down in the box. I have to build this mold from scratch, so I took apart a pallet, funny enough. I didn't take apart a pallet. I didn't feel like buying a $100 mold, so I took apart a pallet. I'm using the wood, tape it up. I got that tuck tape. I'm gonna use that. We're gonna build this mold. We're gonna get it working. So let's go. All right, well here we are, back again in the voiceover chair. Haven't done this since I did the room video. If you want to see that, go watch that, because that was a good video. Anyway, we're talking about this now. This process took a very, very long time. In case I never mentioned, this is my first time actually doing woodworking, and it was honestly a really great experience. I really enjoyed doing this, and thankfully I had all of the tools that I needed to do this. But like I said, I didn't feel like spending $100, $200 to getting a custom mold for my cutting board. So I took apart a pallet that we had, because our shop was just full of pallets. So I took one apart. And we had this plywood just sitting here, so I used this. I built a custom mold. Most people build custom molds anyway, but I did this because it was gonna be too expensive if I decided to buy one. So I did this. It took well over 2 hours to get this done. I've never done woodworking before up until this point, but I cut on pretty quick. After I got the first board down, I got pretty good. But like I said, it was a good experience. It was fun. I'm definitely doing more woodworking in the future. I told you earlier in the video how if you wanted to see me do a resin table at some point, give this video 3 likes. That's gonna take a lot more likes. I'm saying get this video to at least 100 likes if you want me to do a resin table. Because those things are hard. Those are like thousands of dollars to make. But as you can see there, this wood was a problem. Because some of this wood, like I said, pallets, they use like scrap wood to make them, and it was bowed, it was bad. That's why it took so long, because of all the wood and junk that I used for this. But other than that, I got it done. It took a very long time, a lot of math, which I'm really bad at doing. And the reason I want to do it is because I remember my uncle sent me at one point like a John Malecki video about him making a resin table, and I'm like, yo, I'll check this out. Immediately I got hooked on it. I immediately got addicted to woodworking videos, watching him a lot. Inspired me to do this, so yeah. If you're watching John Malecki, thank you. You've inspired me to be a woodworker. We're done. 2 hours in. It took so dang long, but we got it. We got our mold, the tuck tape is on, everything is perfect. All we could do now is hope that there's no leakage. The way this thing, like I said, this thing was built out of like recycled pallets. So like, it's next time I do this, I'm gonna probably buy a mold. It's a lot easier. It took literally 2 hours, but now it's time to put in the wood, mix the resin, and call that a day for day one. This may not take that long, but this will be a lot shorter video than the room makeover, but hey, this is a lot cooler in my opinion. So let's hope that this actually works though. We're gonna put the wood in. I think we're gonna mix the resin. Let's do it. All right, it's all done. Weighed down using batteries because that's what we have here. Now it's time to mix our resin. I got 72 ounces of epoxy resin here. A and B 1-to-1 ratio, so it's easier. I don't have a mixing cup big enough, so I'm using a coffee pot. Hope it doesn't mess it up, but since this is equal part, it should be simple. I'm just gonna eyeball it, and then I'm going for black. Got the black dye here, and I'm also gonna do a swirl pattern. I got gold pigment here as well that I'm gonna try to swirl in after I put this in, but just for now, we're gonna see what happens when we mix this. Okay, let's do this. It's time to finally pour this stuff. Let's see what happens. Pour on the side. I think we might have just
that was like
enough.
Perfect.
And funny enough, there's no air bubbles. I think this is perfect. Moment of truth.
Oh yeah, it's tough. That's really nice.
Everything is coming together.
Perfectly.
Perfect. Granted, I put a little bit more gold than I would have liked.
Hey, sorry. I think that's good enough.
I don't really care. Now, for the fun part.
Dude, of course.
I'll get the batteries out.
Dude.
Cut all of this.
Okay, it's splattering it over to the side. Be careful.
Yeah, well, that's pretty much it for, I guess, day one. I gotta go take a shower now because I'm completely gold, but I guess we'll come back tomorrow. No, actually, I let this sit over the weekend. So I'll be coming back on Tuesday, which is a long time from now, but we'll see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't go everywhere. I guess we're gonna see how this goes. So I'll see you guys on Tuesday. All right, fellas, it's now Tuesday. I let this junk cure over the whole weekend. It's actually been like 4 days this thing's been curing. I'm gonna take this off. I took the tablecloth that came with my resin pack and I let it, or I used it to cover some little dust would get in there. So let's see how it looks. All right, it's looking pretty good actually. So as you can see, there's a few bubbles, but it's gonna get planed down. I'm not worried. Overfill, it's actually a good thing because I'm gonna plane this down, so it'll be perfectly flat. There's no leakage anywhere, which is just perfect. But now what I'm gonna do is demold this thing, and we're gonna see how that goes. Okay. There we go. And to be honest with y'all guys, the bottom kind of looks better. It's got to get planed obviously, but like, it doesn't look bad. There's a big bubble there, but that's gonna get planed down. All in all, Chad, this looks really freaking good. Okay, I think the next thing I'm gonna do is get my table saw. Oh no, not my table, I got a bandsaw. I'm gonna square this up, sand it down. We'll see how it goes. Let's get to work. All right, now we're here using the bandsaw, squaring this junk up, because I said before how when I when I cut the wood for the first time, it was really black and stuff on the sides because the circular saw had to cross cut it, so it kind of burned it a bit. So that's why I didn't worry about sanding it too much at the beginning, because this bandsaw cut it off. But as you can see right here, most of the problem and time of this video, because the bandsaw wasn't tight, so the saw came off the pulleys. So we had to spend all this time putting it back on. We got it fixed, I got it squared up though, which is good. So we got that down. I should probably mention that I'm using food grade epoxy, because it's a cutting board. So I knew that I wanted to do it. Make sure I got food grade epoxy on purpose. So you're gonna go in the comments and start crying saying, oh, why didn't you use food grade epoxy? It's really bad for you. It's fine. Everything I got was food grade. I got, well, you'll see later in the video what I've done. That's also food grade, but you'll see. If you think it's not food grade, it's food grade. Trust me. And here I am now, planing it down. As you can see here, I had to build a special box to collect the dust, because for some reason the dust collector was broken, so I had to do this. I really got my improv skills and put them to the test, because this box actually worked perfectly for planing everything down. Perfect as you could possibly want it to be. Right, it's been planed. This looks fantastic so far. It's really smooth too. Get this figure here, top and bottom. There's a little bit left here, but I'm gonna just plane that off, I think, myself, or I'm gonna sand it down with my sander. Other than that, all we gotta do now is route the edges. We can sand it and finish it up. Let's get to work. So I got my sander. Really, I'm supposed to be going from 120 to 240 to 320, but I'm not doing that. I'm going from 80 to 120 to 240, because 320, I don't think it needs to be that smooth. It's a cutting board. So we'll start with 80 and we'll work our way up. So let's get started. You know what? I did forget to get the corners or the edges here, but we won't do it on camera. Next thing we're gonna cut to is me finishing this up. So, cut to that. All right, so what you're seeing me do right now is I'm applying a walnut finish that I bought, because originally I wanted this to be walnut wood, but walnut is super expensive to buy, and the cherry wood was really cheap. So I just bought this. I'm like, I'll just stain it and sell the effect that it's walnut. I was like, it look fantastic and perfect like walnut, but I thought it turned out pretty dang good. This is pretty cheap walnut stain, which is good. I only had to put on like one coat, which is good. And there was actually there was more than that. There was so much stain in that bottle. I had more than I was gonna need, but as you can see, it worked pretty dang well, and I'm really happy with how it turned out in the end. All right, well, as you can see, it's been stained to give off a walnut look. Obviously, it's not perfectly natural because this isn't real walnut wood, it's cherry, but this cure says it would take about 10 minutes to permeate, but I'm not a believer, so I'm gonna wait about an hour. It's like 2 o'clock now, so I'll come back at 3, put on the finishing oil, and we can wrap this project up. All right, now we're gonna finish this thing off for good with this flaxseed oil. I got this specifically because it needs to be food safe, because this is a cutting board. So I'm just gonna need paper towels first. In case I'm making perfectly clear, this is actually my first woodworking project ever, and so far it's turning out pretty dang good. And if you want to see more of this stuff, then leave a like and comment what I should do next. As it stands, I'm definitely gonna come back and do more. Hopefully it's not too much, but I'm just gonna take my hand. Just the only problem with being flaxseed oil is that, as you can clearly see, it has a little bit of a greenish yellow tint to it, and it smells really weird. I don't like the way it smells at all, but what can you do? Now what this oil is for, I wasn't gonna put this on, but it's supposed to maintain the look and protect the stain. And also it's gonna add shine to it's gonna give the shine back to the resin. As you can see, it looks a lot better. Also makes it look shinier. So I may have gotten way too much oil for this side, but whatever. Yeah, I definitely got way too much on this side, but now I can for sure get this done. And well, I mean, with that is the board. I mean, it's done. I think this looks freaking fantastic. And if you do too, you already know what you have to do. Drop this video a like. If this gets me as many likes and views as my room rebuilding episode, then I'll probably start a whole channel about doing this. And if you're up for that, then leave a like and tell me if you want that to happen, because I'm really happy with how this looks. I hope to do a lot more of this stuff. I already have all the tools for it. So, I mean, hey, I might as well keep going while I'm ahead. So that's pretty much it. The board is done. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did, leave a like, subscribe, and like I said, comment for what else you want me to do when it comes to woodworking and stuff. But I'm definitely gonna keep going into this. With that said, thank you for watching. If you'd like to see more, like, subscribe. And that's it, we're done. Goodbye.